Really want to know who Superman is? Watch this.
Go motivate, 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 get money, motivate, 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 get money. Too many times I swallow my pride.
Oh, yeah. This is the South, the dirty South. You know what I mean?
Motivate, 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 motivate.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This time I'm going to be talking about the secrets to becoming a Division I athlete, specifically to the sport of track and field, because that's what I do. That's what I was recruited as. I'm a high jumper and I go to UNCW if you're new to the channel. And I'm going to be talking with you guys about what I think are the most important things in becoming a Division I athlete. And like I said, this is specific to track and field. I can't speak for other sports because I just simply didn't get recruited for that, obviously. And I just want to thank you guys who hit me up on social media and in my YouTube comments and asked, this and inspired me to make this video. So without any further ado, I want to say the number one most important thing in becoming a Division I athlete is you have to work harder than everybody else. There's a statistic that I think 2% or 3% of all male high school track athletes and cross country make it to Division I level. It goes without having to be said that making it Division I is very hard, and the recruitment process is hard as well. And even for Division II, Division III, you have to be better than the majority of people who do this sport. And in track and field, that takes very, very hard work, because if you want to be faster than somebody, you have to put in the work, and because numbers don't lie when it comes down to it. Same thing with jumping, same thing with anything. Number two is be competitive. You're not going to become a Division I athlete if you are not competitive. And being competitive comes from in here. It's intrinsic, which means it comes from within. It's something that you have to be. You have to compete hard. And part of being a Division I athlete is being at the top level of competition and being able to compete with the top level. So to be a Division I athlete, plain and simple, you have to be a very competitive person, and you have to like winning, and you have to love meets and competing no matter what it is, what race, what event, all that. You have to love it. Number three is place high at big meets, and this is the easiest way to get recruited. And I did a video on how to get recruited. I'll link that in the description if you guys want to see it. But anyway, you have to place high at big meets, and this includes states, this includes AAU meets, this includes Junior Olympics, conference, regionals, nationals, New Balance nationals, everything. You have to place high, because when it comes down to it, college coaches are going to look at these meets and they're going to say, okay, we're going to look at the best people who competed at this meet. We're going to look at the top 10 people. We're going to look at top 5. We're going to look at the winner, depending on what school it is. So you have to compete at the highest level and place high at meets, simply because track and field is just a numbers sport, and you can't hide behind a team, so you have to place high. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Number four, and I touched on this in a previous video, but it's you have to contact the schools first. Go on their athletics website, look up their athletic questionnaire, and fill it out. Email coaches, call coaches, take the first step, because the worst they could say is no. And the best they could say is, yes, we're going to offer you a scholarship, we're going to offer you a walk-on position, whatever it is. But that is the best way to get recruited. If you are a good athlete, you place high at meets, take the first step, be proactive in your recruitment. And number five is let go of your ego. If you want to be recruited and be a college athlete, even if it's not D1, D2 is fine. There's nothing wrong with D2, D3, NAIA, whatever the divisions are. If a college is offering you and it's not what you want, you have to let go of your ego and accept that offer, because it's still an offer. It doesn't matter what division it is. If you want to be a college athlete in track and field, you have to let go of your ego. I'll tell a personal story about this. When I was getting recruited, most of the schools I was getting recruited to was in North Carolina, because that's where I grew up. And the whole time I was competing, I never had goals or aspirations to go to Alabama or LSU or Florida State, because I knew my numbers weren't what they were looking for. So I knew I had to let go of my ego. As much as I wanted to be like an SEC high jumper, I just didn't have the numbers to do it. So I let go of my ego, and I started looking at mid-major D1s, high-level D2s. I took into consideration all offers I had, you know, but I had to let go of my ego and say, hey, look, I don't mind being mid-major school. And I came to UNCW, and it was the best decision I've ever made. I love this school. I fell in love with the school. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But you have to let go of your ego. You might get offers from D2, and you've got to accept it. And you got to be happy about it. You can't like automatically deny it if it's not what you're looking for. If it's not LSU offering you, for example, you know, you have to let go of your ego. So those are my top 5 tips for, you know, becoming a Division I athlete. And if you have any questions, as always, leave it in the comments below, and I'll read it and I'll comment to you as soon as possible. And if you're new to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe. I'm on my way to 1,000 subscribers, which is awesome, and I need you guys' help. And if you liked it, leave a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.